Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, well, too bad. Sorry I pressed that button in my head again, but they have a Patreon for other games. This game's finished. So, on the last Let's Play, we're figuring out how to best cover our butts because the one before that, Leo was like, Chase is missing, he smells like he's in your house, what the heck's going on? So, after he left, we're like, okay, collaborate our stories. Also, there was this thing where it's like we walked out of the house, but then we weren't. Some kind of red haze, we were still in the bathroom, I don't know. That was a whole big mess. But the plan is that we went to Carl's place after Flynn. And Carl was just really, really high. Yeah. So then we went to Carl's place. And he's like, so, you and Flynn, how was it? And it's like, you got us. But then he ate a pot brownie. And we're going to Flynn's work so that we can get our project done, I guess? I think so. Anyways, reset our face. And begin. Stepping into City Hall, the first thing I notice is how dry the air feels. Like, there's no ventilation to speak of. Would they have a humidifier or something? I don't know. Ventilation usually helps move humidity away. It makes me feel like I'm standing inside a really slow baking oven. Half of me wants to run out and jump into the first body of water I can find, while the other half just wants to curl up into a ball and nap. Yay, naps. The faint drowning of a voice on a speaker is audible. It sounds like some sort of outdoorsy hunting and fishing podcast. Chase? Flynn's tall, leering form emerges from one of the doorways, a stack of envelopes in hand. We stare at each other for a few seconds as the reality of what we've done with one another is hanging pretty potently in the air. And we done something to each other, ooh. Hey. He exhales, his demeanor shifting, his raised shoulders going more lax, and his tail settles on the musty carpet floor. I don't know why people hate carpet these days. What? He looks back through one of the doorways beside him, then back at me, his scaled brow furrowed. For a moment, my mind blanks, and I'm not sure what to do with my paws. It's really stuffy in here. Flynn looks at me questioningly. The only people who work here are reptiles, so we keep the habitat all dry and such. I wonder if people actually call that, though I guess since this is a furry universe, that would be a word. His gaze shifts back to the doorway again, before turning to me. There's something you want? I'm pretty busy. I clear my throat, cross my arms over my chest. Yeah, I was hoping to get permission to film around City Hall, and take a look at some records. I wonder, would you need to get permission to do that? I don't know. Like, if it was a big thing that you'd have to close off roads, yeah, but if it's like, I don't know, you with a tripod and camera, I feel like you could just do that most any place. What records were you looking to go through? Well, I don't know. Flynn stares at me with an indescribable expression. Discernible, maybe? I'm just looking for anything I can use for my report. So, you don't have a parcel number or a date or anything? You just went to, browse? Well, maybe you could point me in the right direction. You're the city clerk after all. Flynn lets out a raspy exhale, moving to take a seat with his swivel chair at the front desk, his tail coiling around the base. Alright, reading room is off limits on account that monsoon season took out a portion of its roof, covered last year. Damn. I mean, this is a city of 88 people, I think. Like, if it was before, it was like, I don't know, 5,000, kind of like a town that I used to live in. I can understand it having a city hall, but like here it's like, it's a literal ghost town. I can set you up in the mailroom with the microfiche and a computer for the time being. He grasped the edge of the desk, staring at the tips of his fingers. I need to check with the mayor to see what all you've got access to. Flynn's about to stand up again, then another Guyla steps in the room. I was about to say, like, I remember seeing her, like, at some point, but I don't know. Seeing a very busty looking Guyla? She's slightly overweight and decked out in khaki shorts with a matching outdoorsy button up top. Also, what's up with people and hating cargo pants? I love cargo pants. They're like what I wear here like 10 months out of the year. Because it's Texas and it's hot. Despite being indoors, she dons a long, large sun hat, also khaki. It looks straw. Anyways, with a vibrant floral bandana around her neck. This must be the mayor, Flynn's aunt. I thought I heard another voice in here. I catch the wind of perfume, a strong, sweet pea scent that seems to fill the room. Her slitted, blue-green eyes focus on me. It's almost like she sized me up. Are you from the grant committee? I pause and quickly shake my head. No, sorry. I also fucked him. I mean... She visibly seems to deflate, her brow lowering and her eyelids drooping to a half-lidded lull. Ah. I'm Chase, Flynn's friend. That's so. Another one then? She looks over towards Flynn, who's currently rubbing his temple. He responds quickly. I'm guessing being like, another one of your fuck buddies? An old friend from childhood. You've met Chase before, I'm pretty sure, or at least seen him around town. She seems to think for a moment before a look of realization comes to her. Oh, I almost didn't recognize you with that thing on your chin. I most certainly remember you. Also, like, how much tail is he getting? Like, I know Echo, for some reason, is a town that has unusually high gayness, but, like, is there, like, enough early 20s, teens, I guess early 20s people around for him to bang? Or, like, does he invite them in from out of town, you know? I blink, reaching up and covering my goatee instinctively. You're the one who was always pawing around with the red wolf fella. Leo, weren't you? Gay couple, right? I chuckle a bit sheepishly, nodding. Having spent the last 3 years at Pueblo, I'm not used to people talking about me like this as I once was. Yeah, sort of. I mean, yes. She exchanges a glance with Flynn, who's looking a bit tense. Are you doing my son here, or nephew? Chase is doing a school project on the town, and wants access to the records we've got on hand. He fill out a request form yet? No, he just wants to browse, I guess. Well, it's only public record stuff that I want to take a look at. You still have to go through the process. Usually, requests are just for a parcel at a time. What sort of school project is this for, Chase? Well, I'm a journalism major at the University of Pueblo. I have to create a documentary-style video report on something. I chose Echo. Ah, you're aiming to smear us to the general public then, are you? Her tone suggests she's joking, but she has that same intense look Flynn has, where I can't really tell for sure. No, Mayor. You know, we have a grant application that we're interested in putting out there that requires video entry detailing the sites around town. Would you be interested in that sort of thing? Oh, well, maybe? I don't know. I guess I'd have to know more about the project. Honestly, I can't imagine the sheer amount of sugarcoating I'd need to muster to create a positive report about this place. Fill this out. Flynn's pushing a form across the desk my way. The mayor clears her throat. Chase, where it asks for a lot of parcel requests, you can put in all inventory. Ah, alright, will do. As I take the pen from Flynn and begin to write, I see him look up to his aunt. All inventory? Yes. Alright then. He huffs some idly. The podcasters on Flynn's computer speakers are going into detail about creating complex fish nets and trappings. I'll leave you boys to it. Then, welcome back to Echo Chase. It's good to be back. Flynn suddenly rolls his eyes, turning back to his computer. The mayor just smiles before heading back to what I assume is their office. I finish up the form in silence, pushing it back towards Flynn. He squints for a moment before speaking. Any word from Leo? The atomic change catches me off guard. I look up to see Flynn leaning in close, his voice lowered. Yeah, I believe the whole spending the night at Carl's story. Wait, I believe? He believed. Carl went along with it? Uh-huh. I ended up telling him the whole truth, though. I guess I just started feeling real shit about all this lying. Flynn leans back in his chair suddenly, clenching his eyes shut. He opens his mouth like he's going to say something, but merely shakes his head. Chase, you fucking realize that when this week's over, you just gotta go back to college land. And I'm stuck here with the results of all your shitty choices. You know Carl as much as I do. He wouldn't go telling Leo to start drama. And anyway, he saw us, by your truck. Flynn's eyes open, when we were initially going woo, and he just stares at the ceiling for a long moment. Fuck it. Let's get your musty ass up. Get your musty ass up with the goddamn country guest log in so you can access our GIS maps. Ooh, GIS maps. Fancy guys here. Ooh, sorry that came out of nowhere. He scoots back over towards the computer, beginning to type something in. I catch a glimpse of the desktop wallpaper. It looks like some sort of waterfall surrounded by lush evergreen forest. It's kind of blurry, like a smaller image stretched to fit the screen size. It also has a few transparent stock image logos overlaid on top. We've got physical records, the real old ones, stored in the mailroom, though I wouldn't say the shit is very browsable. Some religious historical society types came by 8 months ago and helped us archive a lot of it. They're all in the labeled manila folders along the south wall. Flynn turns back to the computer, pecking at the keyboard for a clerk, he's not remotely fast typer. Oh, damn. I forgot to ask permission to film here. Flynn grunts. Permission granted. Now go do that while I get this fucking thing working. Glancing back at screen, I see incorrect password, 2 remaining entries before locked-out flash up. After looking at his keyboard, it takes me only a couple seconds to figure out what's wrong. Flynn? What? He snaps back at me, and I can see his pointing teeth between his scaled lips for a moment. You have cap locks on. Flynn pounds the cap lock key with some extra force before returning back to his typing. Thanks. Now fuck off for a bit. I stare at him, and I can't help but feel a twisting sensation in my chest. I'm not sure if I expected him to treat me differently after doing what he did, but I definitely didn't think he'd treat me worse. I try to think of something to say to make this right, to make this not awkward as it seems to be getting. Yet the longer I sit here, the more uncomfortable he seems to get. I guess I'm just really leering at him like a creep right now. Fuck. I get up and head out. Deciding to keep my mouth shut is the best course of action for the time being. As I step outside, The first thing I see is Carl down on his knees on the gravel, the tripod upright beside him. His large shoulders are shaking some, and I can hear Ras swears between his shifting movements. Oh, I probably should have let him just... I don't know. Hopefully everything's fine. Carl? Carl's snuffling stops. The ram turns his head to look at me, the whites of his eyes looking like a color of bubblegum. Guess he wasn't sobering as much as I thought he was. Fuck, dude, I'm sorry. Fuck. It just slipped and shit because the thing's too hard to put on. Like, it won't lock. There was no click. As I approach, I see my camera splayed out in front of him, on the gravel inside, Carl clutching a snapped-off battery in his paw. Oh Jesus, Carl, you dropped it? It wouldn't turn on, and this thing fell off. He holds up the battery casing, and I quickly take it from him and begin to try to fasten it back on. Real fucking sorry, man. I'll pay for it and everything, and like, I can write a note to your teacher. It seems my fault that... Snap. The battery locks into place on the back of the camera. With a tentative sigh, I flip on the power. The digital display flashes to life, the viewfinder, and I look back up at Carl. His jaw is slack, his expression vacant, almost gormless. It's fine. Looks like nothing's broken or cracked. He rubs his sizable paw across his eyes and muzzle, closing his mouth. The flickering wave of relief that appears in his eyes seems to quickly dissipate, however. Yes, it wasn't broken. No, the battery disconnected from the camera, and it slid off the tripod. They're designed to come off. Like, I do it all the time to recharge them. He just kneels there, rubbing his face as he stares at the equipment. Carl, this isn't that hard. Chase... Come on, man. I mean, maybe it's because I did Carl's route, and I'm like, I kind of understand him a bit. He's quiet for a second. Yeah, I know it isn't. He pushes himself back up to his hooves. Look, all you gotta do when you're trying to attach the camera to the tripod is slide it in the existing grooves right here. I point to the two beveled edges on its base. Then bring it in from the backside and... Dude, I just don't think I'm up for this right now. He's looking back towards my car, his paws in his pockets. Fine, I got this, I guess. Yet, I just get in the way. I give Carl a look. I know he's not obliged to help or anything, but Jesus Christ. He dips his head, trudging his way back towards the car. With a sigh, I start setting up the remaining equipment myself. It takes about 15 minutes to get it all put together and the color wide balanced. Even still, the gravel parking lot makes it difficult to adequately line up my shot. Everything ends up looking slightly crooked. I know I can probably fix it all in post, but that's more work for me that I'm not looking forward to. Carl, meanwhile, has his eyes glued to his phone. It looks like he found a pair of earbuds, because he's got those in too. Refocusing, I take a stock of the footage I got from here so far. The midday sun means that my recordings are all pretty much well lit, but I can't help but think that a sunset would be more symbolic. Maybe I'll come back later. I don't know. My phone vibrates in my shorts. Grabbing it, I see I got a few messages from Leo. With Jenna and TJ playing football. I'm assuming he means soccer, but I decide now isn't the time to press him on word choice. Sounds fun, filming with Carl and Flynn here. I slide my phone in my pocket, unlocking the trunk of my car, so they can start putting away all this equipment. After closing the trunk, I realize now that Flynn's standing at the City Hall entryway with his arms crossed, staring staring furrow-browed at my vehicle. Why the fuck's Carl here, just sitting in the car? I throw up my arms and shrug. Damn, his eyes. He's fucking stoned off his rocker, ain't he? Flynn's squinting at the window at the ram, who seems to barely acknowledge his presence. He ate too much of an edible this morning, apparently. Flynn looks at me, then back to Carl. Probably for the best. He's staying in the car then. Come on. Like, to me, I want to encourage him, but like, it'd be kind of nice if I could just go, okay, you said no the first time. Okay, fair enough. You have fun in the car. He turns, heading back inside. I follow, catching a glimpse of Carl sinking down in the seat. Sorry I had to do a yawn. Boy, this place is colorful. Flynn. Okay, that's 20. Flynn leads me through the narrow hallways, the ceiling laden with visible old piping, and the walls covered in dents and scratches. Maybe reset my face a tad? Eventually, we turn into a colorful room that looks like a mix between an old post office and a kindergarten classroom. Alright, like I said, archive files are in the back, along the south wall. The computer in the corner is logged into the county's GIS viewer. Maps and shit, basically. He points to a cream-colored computer that must be from around the early 2000s by the look of the make. Dust visible on top of the tower. God, it's kind of funny. Like, I remember years back opening up an old computer that we just kind of kept around because we weren't going to just toss it out, you know? And I opened it because, I don't know. And the inside of it was so fucking caked with dust. It's like, wow. No wonder they slowed down. Oh, so like, they're where the native burial grounds and that sort of thing are? Flynn crosses his arms, looking back down at me. Yeah, no. As far as I know, the Meseta tribal government hasn't put forth any sacred site claims within miles of Echo. Wow, really? Really? Why is that? I don't have a whiff of shit's worth of a clue or care. Now, for reference, and I'm not sure if this would be spoilers for stuff coming later in this route, if you remember and watch The Smoke Room, if you do Cliff's route, you basically see a map where it's like, here's where the Meseta people or, locals put not fireplaces, but, where they would build fires or stuff like that, were like short-term settlements. And somebody mapped that out, and there's a whole bunch of them all over the map, except there's a big circle around Echo where there's nothing. And it's like, Go ask Jenna if you want to be all weird about it. I don't think she has much ties to her tribe. Yeah, well, it doesn't stop her from being a bitch about it whenever she sees fit. Flynn sucks his teeth, as if saying that left a bit of an unpleasant taste in his mouth. Flynn speaking less than kindly towards folks isn't anything new, but not usually about Jenna. He looks down at some papers in his hand, as if they suddenly were very interesting. Is this about what she said when you got Carl the lighter from the reservation? His slithered eyes flicked back up to me, his lips thinned. You thought that was bullshit too, right? Well, I think she was just in, I don't know, den mother mode with regards to TJ after what you did. If you want to get everybody talking again, you should just apologize. There's a pause in the conversation as cloud cover shades the light coming through the window. It's not just about the lighter crap. She doesn't give a shit about me, and she really didn't give a shit about Sydney. I blink. I'm still amazed at how much his name is being mentioned after all these years of silence on the subject, especially from Flynn. He catches my expression and grunts, the Gila resting the side of his hip against this sword encounter. When he died, All she fussed about was how it affected TJ. Sid could rot for all she cared. That's not fair. We were kids, and people react to that sort of trauma stuff differently. Maybe helping TJ is all that kept her occupied, is what kept her occupied. Oh yeah? Remember a few months before it happened, when all that shit was going on with Sid's dad? And fucking Jenna. All she did was try to shield TJ from all the negativity of the situation. She tried to help, but he was different. I don't know. Fuck. We were just kids. No, she fucking hated Sydney. Carl hated Sydney. Leo hated Sydney. TJ could never fucking admit it, but he hated Sydney. Also, I think you hated Sydney. Hopefully you were the one that killed him, right? And you hated Sydney. Yeah. He looks at me in the eyes now. I'm quiet for a moment, trying to think of what to say. Flynn, meanwhile, just looks expectant. Seemingly waiting for me to blanch and try to defend myself. Sydney was an asshole. He raised his chin some. His crossed arms seemed to squeeze more tightly over his chest. Yeah, so am I. No, not like him. Nobody knew him like I did. You said that, but that doesn't mean the crap he pulled on us, on TJ, was in any way justified. I'm pretty sure he genuinely enjoyed watching people get hurt. Flynn stared slack-jawed before quickly gritting his teeth. He liked wrestling. He liked pirates. He liked pulpy adventure shit. And he did not like hurting people. TJ cried every day, no matter what. He could see a dead fly on the windowsill and start bawling. And you all would drop everything and come rushing to his aid, scoring the shit out of anybody who didn't. We couldn't make jokes. We couldn't tease each other. We couldn't roughhouse. And we couldn't even fucking swear without TJ getting upset. It wasn't like we could just go hang out with someone else. This is Echo, and Leo is fucking dead set on keeping the group together. Though now the group for Leo's essentially consists of two members, your ass and his cock. I frown deeply before I can interject. He continues. When Sydney died, y'all convinced yourselves he was a fucking monster kid, so that it didn't have to hurt as much. I ain't gonna apologize. Fucking hell, they should. Flynn crosses his arms, staring somehow at the windowsill of the cramped mailroom. The cloud cover lifts. He'll be at the front desk. If you take something, always put it back where you found it. He turns, making his way back the narrow hall. I'm left alone. Everything feels real quiet right now. A sort of weird solace amidst the shelves upon shelves of Echo's history. I rub my face and muzzle, spanning a whisker as a previous conversation plays back in my head and begins to fade like a passing dream. With a slow exhale, I turn to head over to the archives. It all seems to be categorized by numbers, like 105 66009 or 107 21 001. I grab a random file from the shelf, 106 01 001. Flip it open, I see a cluster. I kind of wonder, like, that was a scene right there. So maybe we should just call that there. That's the thing about doing visual novels, because it's like, give me a sec. Because it's like, some scenes can maybe not take a long time. Other scenes can take forever. Like, this could be like, and I'm just going to be looking through these things. Or I'm going to be looking through this thing, and then here's about 15 minutes of, like, stuff. But yeah, since that was a scene, I think we'll call it, you know? So, Please comment, cause I like comments. Damn it, you like dislike. Tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like Seek Grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos at Grow. Please remember to spam your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. And they also have a Patreon for other stuff. And until next time, another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. So thanks and see ya.